All right, here's another laws of exponent. This is one we did in class. All right, if you notice, I have a law of powers here. So you see I have exponents inside the parentheses and exponents outside the parentheses. And if you notice, I have this one's negative. So we got to be careful here. So I'm going to rewrite it like I did everything. I'm showing you every little step so that way we don't forget anything. The -2 is in parentheses because you can see it's in the parentheses. It does have a power of 1 on it, and we are going to multiply -2 to it. Alright, and so I'm going to go ahead and just multiply -2 to everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to write these out. So I have a to the third times a -2, and then b to the square, and we're going to multiply -2 to it. Remember, this -2 is getting multiplied to every one of these, even this guy here at the 1, and down on the bottom as well. So he's getting multiplied to everything. And then c to the 0 power, you should know c to the 0 power is 0, but we're going to go ahead and pretend like we're still multiplying -2 to it, so you can kind of see it at the end. And it doesn't matter, it's still going to get. Alright, so this 3 is also in parentheses, and we're going to multiply it's got a 1 on it, so we're going to multiply a -2 to it. Alright, my -2. I'm trying to write it small, but it's not working out well. Then a squared, we're going to multiply -2 to it. And then b to the third, we're going to multiply a -2 to it. And then we have c to the 7th, and we're going to multiply a -2 to it. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply everything. Now remember, this is -2, and it's in parentheses because the whole thing was in parentheses before. It's got a -2 on it. The a is going to have -6 because -3 and 2 times a -3 is 2. B is going to be 2 times a -2, which is -4. And then c is 0 because 0 times a -2 is 0. The 3 has a a 1 times a -2, so that's -2. And remember, this is in parentheses as well. The a is negative and a negative, that makes a -4. A negative, 2 times a -2. B has 3 times a -2, that's -6. And c is 7 times a -2, which is -14. This is a negative. Some of these negatives aren't coming out very well, so there we go. Alright, so remember what we said. Now let's get rid of something first. C to the 0 power is 1, so 1 times anything is going to be anything. So 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times x is x. 1x or whatever. We don't have to put the 1 there, so we're going to just get rid of this. Alright, so I'm going to erase this part. Alright, so anything we said with a negative is like a bunk bed. When you think of the bunk bed story, if they're negative on top, we want to move them to the bottom. If they're negative on the bottom, we want to move them to the top. So I'm going to move these little guys around. So here we go, and I'm going to move it. I'm going to go in this direction here. So a -2. So this is -2 goes on the bottom. And now we're going to square it and it's positive. Alright? We're just going to do the top part first. I think it'd be easier to do the top part. The A is -6, so we're going to put him on the bottom, change his. B is going to be on the bottom. And C, like I said, is going to be good. The 3 is squared, and it's negative power, so it goes on top. The A to the 4th, we're talking about the bottom down here. A to the 4th, -4 is going to be positive. And now B to the 6 is going to be -6 is going to be B. And C to the -14 is going to be +14. Now everybody's positive. Everybody's good. And so now we're just going to simplify. 3 squared is 9. A to the 4th, B to the 6th, C to the 14. -2 squared is 4. So it's A to the 6th, B to the 4th. Now I'm going to match them just like I talked about the bunk beds. Alright, so 9/4 is not going to change. Alright, I have 4 A's on the top bunk. Remember we talked about that's like having 4 A's here 6 A's on the bottom. If we match them, how many do we have left and where? We have 2 A's on the bottom. Alright, look at the B's. The B's, you have 6 B's on the top bunk, and you have 4 on the bottom. If you match them, how many do you have left and where? So you have 2 B's on the bottom. C to the 14th, you don't have any C's on the bottom, so C to the 14th will stay on the top bunk. And this is our answer.